I wonder why they're all in dresses. See, last time they were all in maid outfits, which it made sense. They were maids in a household. But why the dresses? Ooh. Is that the other girl? The girl from the empty room? It didn't seem like that, but if it's a landmine, yeah, that makes sense. Because the fall shouldn't be large enough, but if it's like a boom bomb go off and you fall, yeah. I love how they don't jump into, like, graphic death either. Like, the first big shocking thing was the girl dead at the ground, but it wasn't really, like, mentally fucked up. They're really easing you in and doing the slow burn, the anticipation, the anxiety, waiting for the next big fucked up thing, you know? Oh, the fucking rope. It would have worked had the rope not been there. Oh, man. We had a bad feeling about this path. She's no longer useful. It's basically, you're looking at it as a survival of the fittest. Objectively, probably not wrong. Probably for the best to leave behind if you're trying to prioritize your own survival. What? Fuck you! I honestly thought she was going to bash her head in with that flashlight right there. I'd honestly argue episode 2 was even more psychologically messed up than the first, despite having way less brutality, and that says a lot about the mindfuckery of this show, doesn't it? Comments for the video, though. Make sure you drop a like, share, support, subscribe if you're new around here, ring that bell. Of course, stay up to date and notified of everything uploaded, and you can go even further if you want. Patreon for live reactions and exclusives, which do help fund the channel and videos just like these. So you guys make clear you want another video on YouTube for this. But here's the thing. I truly believe, as great as this show is, everyone's going to stop watching and talking about it after episode 4 or 5. But I hope to be proven wrong, because there's a very strong argument to be made. This is anime of the season. Now, an 11-episode anime, 12, I guess, if we consider the fact that the first episode was basically double length. In a season as packed as this, that's a bold statement. And honestly, had this episode maybe been as disturbing at face value as the first, people would probably try to argue, you're only saying that because you like gore, this, that, and the third, right? And the reason I think this second episode is more disturbing than the first is they've already ripped the band-aid off, right? Like, we know these bodies are going to be mutilated. They'll look like cotton because that's how they get around the censoring of the gore, probably for their televised programs, whoever's watching this, right? And scenes like these, right? Like, you're not seeing blood splatters. It's very minimal. And, you know, a lot of people say, what's so disturbing? But I think what is watching characters go game after game and knowing everyone here is kind of a veteran in terms of these games. Now, Yuki's saying this will be her 10th game. If we look at episode 1, that would seemingly be a lie based on how many games she's done, right? I personally think this might be a flashback arc. Like, this could be something from the past. Though, there's an argument to be made, not telling people this is probably your 30th or whatever it actually is, right? Makes it seem like you're a little less crazy, or you can blend into the background more. But either way, to see stuff like this and just know these characters are throwing themselves deeper and deeper. And the show's called Playing Death Games to Put Food on the Table, right? Like, these are people who are doing, this is their probably only choice. Pay off family debt. No amount of work that you can do in the normal world is going to do it. So you have to throw yourself in these situations, all for some rich fuck's amusement, right? And what I really like is that out of this group, who do we think would be the best leader? Probably Yuki, right? And this girl, she's seemingly proven herself in past games, right? So that's why, because for them, Yuki's the only new person they don't know. Well, maybe, I guess, the other person who blew up at the start of the game who, you know, set off a landmine before they started everything might have been the other one, right? But at the end of the day, when you have seemingly 5 hours to escape a room, or 5 floors, I should say, where there's landmines, who knows how many there are, but seemingly enough that there's going to be a lot of issues, right? What fascinates me so much is this all or nothing mentality of the leader, where Yuki, we saw the end of episode 1, right? We know if you need to kill someone to get that door open, she'll do it. But the value is that you need as many of these team members as possible because you don't know what the requirements will be at the end. So not wanting to take the person who is seemingly still alive, the head's intact, right? So while yes, maybe will be a bit of an issue in the way of like, we'll have to carry her and compensate, she could still be of value, especially given her own individual skills, right? So the disappointment coming from Yuki saying, I'm just going to go on ahead by myself. You disappoint me greatly. The absolute disgust. It's so interesting. And I think this is where it becomes so disturbing to me, is that these are characters who are growing numb to the psychological hell they have been put through. So no matter how much they see happen, they're easy, because objectively, cutting your losses and not wanting to keep someone who is a hindrance potentially because you're carrying them, there's a timer, logically makes sense. Is it emotionally nice? No, but not wanting to spend time or energy for your own survival, it does make sense. But this is also, on the flip side, characters who can call out the bullshit and say you don't see the value in keeping said people alive because we may need them as sacrificial. Like, there's so many ways and the layers and how they go that both sides of the extreme, whether it's Blondie or Yuki, right? There's so much intensity here, and it's just, I'm sure most people think the first episode's more messed up because you got people screaming in your ear, begging for the key, they're sawing off limbs, right? But to me, seeing the numbness and how, like, normalized this is for their life disturbs me far more than the first. Now, granted, I am a sick bastard. I love the Saw movies. I love, seeing characters go through hell. But I think there's something special with this one because it's more than just watching the characters go through hell. There is personal stories that make them. It's not just like some sick bastard kidnapped them and said, now escape. I like that stuff, like I said. But this is all personal. And why does someone want to win 100 games? What do you get for doing 100 games? What could be the reason? Did someone say if you win 100 games, I'll grant your every wish? Who knows? But time will tell. I also think one of the more fascinating things is how every game, they stylize the girls in an outfit. The first episode, we were in a big mansion and they were dressed as maids. This time, we're in an abandoned building that kind of gave me like Last of Us vibes, like it was apocalyptic abandoned building, and they're all in dresses and high heels. Now, given that this is seemingly fetish bait for someone watching, right, who's paying the wages to do all this, there's an argument to be made that the reason they're dressed up is simply kink-based. And some people say you're digging too deep to it, but not necessarily, because you could make the argument with the first episode, well, they're maids, maybe it'll tie in, but nothing about the escape rooms were maid-oriented. And now seeing them dress up like this is just some sick bastard watching this for fun and wants to see the pretty girls die in outfits that they deem attractive. That's my current guess. I really think that. And it's interesting because when we got to the point where the hallway was like, because they turned around once, right? Yuki's like, hey, I don't trust this. So they turned around once. Once it got to the second time, they said, fuck off. And what I find interesting is it was at this moment that I thought to myself, what if the punchline is that it's not that they were going to blow up at the end of this hall, but if they continue down this hallway, they're going to get to a dead end by the second floor, because we know there's 5 floors, right? So if this was the wrong way to go, what if we got to the second floor and realized there's no way out there and you have to completely backtrack? And that was what her intuition said. Still could come true, but either way, I understand where a leader who's proven herself comes from. And I think if you put logically in her situation, this is a fresh person, someone we have no experience with. But unfortunately, when 2 strong-willed individuals clash in the middle of a death game, deaths are going to be on the horizon one way or another. This was fantastic, though, and even better than the first, if you ask me. I definitely think this is in the running for anime of the season, and fuck, man, they keep it up, could be in the running for anime of the year. Both the opening and endings are some of my favorite this season. The atmosphere is fantastic, and I think one of the best signs of the production is the way they use a lack of sound. Like when they're first getting going here, you don't have music, you hear sound effects, a little running water, placing down the objects. Like they know how to do directing. This shit's peak. You let me know your thoughts though down below. Drop a like, share your support, subscribe, ring that bell, all that fun jazz. And Patreon is where you're going to catch my full live reactions to all of some more. Like, hey, I love to give video shouts to my patrons, because without them, you wouldn't get these YouTube videos at all. So today we got Lady Killdragon, Matthew Pizarro, Kakyu, One Piece Man, and we also have Nicholas Wilhelm. So I appreciate the support. Please take care. You all have a good one.